Hello everybody and welcome back to the Trader Test to 300. So I think we're entering the home stretch. We got a bit to go still, but we're at day 1050. In this episode we're going to run it another 150 days. So we are going to run it to 1200, which that will definitely put us there. We won't hit the mark that we hit in the first trader test to get to 300. That we got in 1300 days. So we will not hit that until tomorrow's episode. And then we'll see how truly behind we are. But the one thing that I have definitely noticed is the prices have gone up. Inflation is definitely there. So we'll just keep plugging away at it. Yeah, because you could see 37, it's orange. So inflation is definitely kicked in. Weather, yes. Tools, yes. Now 143 tools is showing orange and yellow. Or I think just a couple episodes ago, I think it was showing red at that point. So we do have inflation, which all that's going to end up doing is kind of helping us, really. Somebody gained a point somewhere or a perk. There you go, 100 trade for the grizzled. Doesn't really do much of anything. That perk is not really helping anything. And not too thrilled the fact that the bitter drought is 82 and he hasn't really gained anything. I realize that emissary shouldn't be a windfall. However, I think we would be able to see some movement in the skill. Well, I haven't really checked. Wow, Zayanica, 210. Jeez. Hides. Kevin said 60. Zayanica, 100. Oh my word. I hate to go over there. I really, really do. That is a long way to go. Oh. I think that's about a 6-day round trip. I do not think that is worth it. It's like everywhere we go, the prices are just a little bit higher, and I can make some sales. And I think that's definitely coming from the inflation, where it's getting better, but we're still not there yet. Let's give that leather back. We do not want to sell that, considering that was terrible EXP. leave that button alone. So today saw the first activity on the Steam database was dealing with multiplayer. So when you start seeing multiples, that's when you know things are really starting to happen. I did speak with Mexico about the issue we had in the last episode where the army was starving. And he doesn't seem too extremely concerned about it. He did say that situations like that are going to happen from time to time. So I don't think he's too extremely worried about it right now. But I'm pretty sure he has other fish to fry. Have enough grain. We're going to try to get this taken care of a little bit quicker than the last episode. We did about 4.5 hours the first time. Last one was over 5 hours. And that's an awful lot to spend doing this. More linen. We're going to sell that. That I don't mind taking because I know when we get to Quayez and Amitatis, I believe those are the two that buy it. Not Amitatis. Ortesia. They like to pay upwards of 90 to 120 for the linen. So I don't mind that so much. We're going to occasionally make these sales. That's up to 86. It's cold. Whoa. Yeah, they got Zayanica at 238. It's an older port. I think I cut short going up north in the last episode. I think we cut across, so we didn't go through all of what we should have normally gone through. seem to offer much here. I haven't noticed that. I ran at 5. Maybe I should start taking it down to 9. I was just kind of hoping that inflation would kick in. And then all of a sudden we would start making a bunch of money. The only really bad thing about this is the test that we did with 10 points was done on 1.5.5. So the economy is a little bit different. Why does that show up orange? I don't remember. I saw somebody get attacked, but there somebody just got taken prisoner. The terrible thing is I really haven't kept track of how often our people have been taken prisoner. I personally do not agree with Mexico on his numbers of how often stuff should be captured. However, if he is right and that the numbers are going to actually go up by about 100 average in 1.5.7, then I don't mind it. And that's what he has stated. Where whatever you're making now, yeah, it's going to be 100 more each caravan. So I don't so much mind that, and I will give him the opportunity and wait until 1.5.7 to test it out to see whether or not it is actually going to be making that good money. So I don't mind waiting for now. Well, that'd be good news. She's at quiet. She's in a holding, but saying she's like right up here. Thankfully, I didn't do a trader test. Man, this is just not a good patch. She moved here. This is just not a good patch to be doing this. I mean, this patch sucks. I feel sorry for the people that are having to have this go live. I mean, there's no sense in running caravans. I hate to say it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say that one caravan in my testing. Because when I ran one, I was and it was a good trader. You gave somebody with a good trade like a Spice Vendor or Swift. Oh, I was making great money. I was making anywhere from 400 to 600 a day easily. But as soon as you started increasing those numbers, it started to dip. And not just by a little bit either. Okay, it's still showing green. We do have almost 2,000. It's all about planning ahead. And right now I just think to myself, you know, when do you want to buy and what do you want to buy? You're anticipating when the inflation is going to just keep going and going. Because all of a sudden, at one point, inflation kicks in, and then you're going to get to a point where you can't buy fish for under 10. You just can't do it. So when you have an opportunity to buy it at 8 or 9, you want to buy it. However, you want to make sure that you can actually sell it. I still wish he would have taken my advice. I mean, I just think I have such great advice. And as people know that the later you go into the game, the more caravans are, how they can be plundered. Because as the game goes on, you get bigger packs of bandits. So my thought was, well, why don't you increase it? Even by one. Just one size for every clan tier. So right now we have 30. By clan tier 5, I would have 35 guys in my caravan. Would that make all the difference in the world? No. But might it help make a little bit of a difference? Yeah. But if you literally do the math, and you have 7 caravans out, they are projecting that you would lose a caravan I think it's every 35 days. Basically, a month and a half. You'll lose a caravan. Every month and a half. Is that right? No, that can't be right. No. If it's 8 and 4 years, that would be half a year, which would be 42 days. So it's closer to like 50 days, just over a half a year. So, right around 50 days or so, they're expecting you to lose a caravan. That's what they think is normal. That's every 2 months you're gonna have to go find somebody and send them back out. Now I don't think that's bad if you're making money. However, as you can see, my caravans, I don't. That's 1,500. I'm still only averaging a little over 200 a day with 7 caravans. No, I think I got 7. No, I only have 6. And I got 1 emissary and 1 running a group, so I'm making about 250 a day. But that number is going to change. It's going to be really bad for traders in the late game if you're trying to make money, according to what Mexxico is stating, because he feels like the profits are going to go down. And yeah, I'm not kidding you with you when you think you didn't hear that correctly. They anticipate profits going down because there will become more merchants in the world, which means more caravans in the world. So yeah, be prepared for that fact, people. You're going to make even less money. I don't know why we continue to go backwards. We're making less than we did in 1.5.5, even though the money is going to go up in 1.5.7. They're estimating that we're going to make less in the late game. So what you're making right now, they're anticipating in the mid to late game, this is what you're going to be making in 1.5.7. You're going to go right back down again. Well, why would you run a caravan? Makes no sense. See, I don't have a faction yet. I mean, 10% village, 5%. I mean, it's. But that's just it. I'm not a part of a kingdom, so I'm not part of a technical faction. Unless they meant to do culture. Here goes the Assyri. Usual suspects again, the Assyri and the Kuzites. Look at all the horses building up. Freaking 10. See, where this really comes into play is when you go through Empire territory. It always seems like you can make really good money going through Empire. That's only 110. Graves 15 is green. 14 is going to be green. We know 51 is green. I seriously doubt I'm going to hit 300 before I have to make a major alteration to my buying and selling prices. That's one thing I like to try to avoid as much as possible, because you spend literally 1,000 days with certain prices implanted into your head, and you know what they are. And then all of a sudden you have to change those prices. And then you can get confused all of a sudden going, oh, wait a minute, what was the price? I mean, you look at here, they're saying that 37 for dates is cheap. So you can actually mess yourself up. Because then all of a sudden one time you'll sell the stuff at that, what you thought was a good price, when in fact it was not. It was one of the older prices that you had. Now is here where we would get the olives. Really, it's you travel all the way around the outside of the map collecting up stuff. And then you go through Empire and sell it off. Cheap prices. That's gonna be there. Yeah, 8 is now. Yellow. Yeah, it's gone up. But we are coming up to one of the worst places that we can go to. the velvet. We are coming up to 2 places in which we are going to buy a lot. Yep, we're down on that. So, of course, Craven. 273! Yay! At day 1000, we should be at, or excuse me, 1100. 287. Here we go. I have plenty of grapes. Oh, that's too high. That's cheap hides, but we're going to hold off because we're at 4.7 speed, and we're about to make a massive purchase. I mean, you just look at all the bandits all over the place. How the heck are caravans supposed to get through that? Okay. Wow, that's all at 5. Don't go over that. Look at them all. Jeez. They got a lot of prisoners. 14 prisoners. They plundered a caravan, which that could be my caravan. So you can tell from the cavalry. I lost 2 guys. You gotta be kidding me. This is really a bunch of food. I was hoping they might have had some stuff. We'll replenish them guys though, once we get back over to Crusade territory. Let's do this the right way, first of all. Get rid of those guys, let's deal with this. And then we'll finish off with trade so we don't forget. About to get another one to go. And another one, so he's about to level. Another person about to hit 100 trade. He's up to 83, so it goes slow. I think its go was a little too slow, in my humble opinion. Stupid flags. And now they got grain. I gotta do a sell-off. I gotta get more speed again. Alright, this will probably be the trade 100, I'm assuming. Nope. Probably then that other person fighting. Oh, come on. How did I miss that? I am actually looking forward to 1.5.7 and actually playing a death build. The only concern I'm having is whether or not they're going to have death fixed. I'm a little flabbergasted by it right now. As I always like to say, I am not an engineer or a programmer or a developer, nor do I play one on TV. But how hard is it to change the death rate from 10% to 2%? I know there can be problems and bugs, but I mean, come on. It just seems like you should be able to figure out 10% to 2% there, buds. We've only had it for what now? 5-6 weeks? Well, it takes 5 weeks. Look at all those damn things. Look at that. Now you understand why they get captured. They can't go up there. I mean, look at those villagers. They're stuck. I just don't get what takes 6 weeks to fix death. I mean, that should literally be in a hot fix. Because 10% is a major issue. And that's an extremely high number for anybody to have to deal with. So it would have been nice if they would have, put that into a hot fix. That would have been really cool. I just got a message from somebody watching yesterday's episode, and they stated that they just got so tired with the trade EXP, they installed a mod that gives them trade EXP from their caravans. And I don't blame them one bit. I mean, I don't know what's worse at this point. Me sitting around being bored doing all this, or you guys realistically sitting around watching me before doing this. I don't know what's worse. because this is just, oh man, I just can't wait to be done. That's already up to 28. So it looks like the new oil, where before it was oil was skyrocketing, it might be hardwood. That's 23. That's better, but that's no way 20. We're literally, and this is what's so weird about this. In 1.5.5, oil would jump up to 120, but you could still get hardwood for under 15. Now oils actually come back down, but now hardwood is going up like crazy. It's like every patch you have to do this. You have to analyze, and things are just completely different every time. But I don't think that it helped that they did get rid of at least one piece of hardwood, and there is a little bit of a problem how they haven't been able to maintain the 3 locations of hardwood at Seanon, and Seanon has gone under siege, or I should say rebellion, a couple times, so that has not helped the situation out at all. They're about to go rebellion as well. They're getting close. There you have it. So now it would tell me as a trader under 1.5.6 to buy up as much hardwood as you can early and hold it, because you can more than quadruple your money on hardwood. We're now buying up the oil is starting to slowly go up. As you can see, it is starting to go. At day 1300 in 1.5.5, I was selling it at 120, and I think I was buying it at 80. And we're already almost 1100 days in, and it's not there yet. It's nowhere near there. But I do think a huge factor is the increased village production that they did. I think that's playing a huge role in a lot of these prices. We're making sales. It's not like we aren't doing anything. We're definitely making sales. It's not that we're just buying all the time. Especially when we go through Empire territory, we'll get rid of a lot of our inventory. As you can see, almost every time I'm getting rid of olives, a little bit of oil. I mean, we're getting rid of stuff. Not as much as we are potentially buying it. And there we go. Alright, good. I mean, we're about to break 2 million. And in my 1,000-day challenges, I would make 3 million. Now, Obviously, I've had groups out, but with the reduced, with how much that the caravans are making less, oh, we're making less money. Oh, that's without a doubt. There's, I would highly doubt, um, yeah, I would say there's no chance we're making 3 million again in 1,000 days. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Um, I don't think I'm going to want to trade for a while after what has happened here. Spending all this time trading. But it would be really interesting to see how much could I make in 1,000 day trading. But I really, because I did it twice. And that's the really interesting. I did two 1,000 day challenges. And in both challenges, I made 3 million, which was quite shocking. And we're talking about almost 3 million on the dot on both of them. They were both really similar. One, I didn't really do horses. And then the second one, I did horses and I did more questing. And both of them made 3 million. And that's kind of amazing when you think about it. Two different games, 1,000 days long, with different strategies, and you both make 3 million. I don't think there's any way possible you're making 3 million now. Which is sad. When you think about the fact that some towns can cost 3 million. So if you were to spend 1,100 days to get everything as a price, but then you can't even afford to get your kingdom. Now, obviously some cost less, but you don't really want to pick a junk town if you have the everything has a price part. You know, it gives you the opportunity to go for something good, but there are a lot of towns that cost over 3 million to buy. So to think about the fact that after you get everything has a price, you still don't have enough money to actually buy a town. And I don't actually get too upset with the fact that they plan on dropping loot by 15%. That doesn't bother me. I think people make too much on loot to begin with, and 15%, it's not a lot. There we go, under 20. It really isn't a lot. But to anybody that wants to get good loot, get roguery. Because we're getting roguery, what is it? Let's look at roguery for a second. Is it 1% per 4? Is that 3.8? Well, that's a weird number to have 3.8 at 15. So it's around, we'll say 1 per 5, around there. So getting 100 is going to give you an extra 20% loot. So you only need to get about 70 roguery to make up that 15% loss. And 70 roguery with having a max skill is not terrible. Alrighty, so I got that done. As you can see, the music is different. There's so much going on right now. Of course, I get a phone call about what's happening in the US right now, which of course I don't really want to get into because I don't like discussing that stuff, so dealt with that. And then I'm getting a lot more chatter on YouTube right now concerning this series. The further we get into it and the worse it looks, the more people are actually talking about it. And which that's the whole point that I'm trying to make, is that this is just becoming ridiculous, redundant, boring. It's just terrible. I don't think you should have to spend over 1,000 days trading. I take the game super slow, and I mean slow. Anybody that sees my playthroughs, they know I do not rush a damn thing. I take forever building up my guys, getting my workshops, getting money together. You know, I take forever to do things. And so I can take sometimes 1,000 days to join a kingdom. So I think that's good for building up a character. However, when you look at the fact that you have to spend 1,000 days trading, and then your character's not even built up, your companions are not built up. Nothing is built up. I mean, you look at my stats, and you know, obviously, I got my riding and my bow good because I was using that to get the riding horde perk. But when you seriously sit down and look at it, can you say that I'm ready to just immediately go make a kingdom? My character's set like I would normally do. Not a chance. When you look at this, it's like, okay, you got Crabby Charm, which normally I'd probably have 150 charm by now because I've been letting lords go. I have no leadership because I haven't been making an army. I got no athletics going, no weapon skill. Medicine is virtually nothing. It's like, and then none of my companions are ready to go. I haven't done any blacksmithing. So how long is it going to take me after that? And some people can be like, well, just go out and fight. Blah, 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 blah. That's not my style. And I shouldn't have to go out and fight. And that's what I try to stress to people on the forums. And they just don't want to get it through their head that everybody has a different play style. We shouldn't have to cater to just one play style. I gotta watch him. I just missed that. I don't know who he was going after. I've actually seen it before, and the devs wanted to see it. Minor factions have been able to attack villagers when they're at war with them. So let's say that you hire a minor faction and you're a Assyri, and they go into Kuzite territory and attack their villagers, yet they're able to go into Kuzite towns. I have seen that happen. And they want the, save file in which stuff like that happens. If you can get it to happen right before it's happening. But I don't know because I didn't see what he attacked. Did I just go here or did I stop? So that's kind of a bug with minor factions only. And then nobody else will attack them. And I have that. I believe that I have that footage on the 1.5.5. I have it somewhere. Therein lies the problem. I may have the footage, but I have no clue where it is. None. And I'm not going back through hundreds of hours of footage to try to find it either. That is not happening. But it was when I was down in the Assyri territory. There was a minor faction, and the Assyri were at war with this guy's... oh, I did it again. Jeez, oh, Pete. I didn't go up here for fish. The Assyri were at war with this guy's... the kingdom he had been hired into. Because I checked it. So... oh, great. Now you're burning that. Thank you. There goes my hardwood. So he was able to go ahead and attack the villagers of the Assyri and then walk right into an Assyri town. So here goes the snowball now. Now the Assyri or the Kuzite are starting to take over. You can already see that they pushed them back here, and they're already pushing into here now. And you look how far they pushed back. It's the usual suspects. Look at this. I mean, they're pushing hard now. And then the Assyri is the same thing. I was actually shocked that the Empire was able to take that, but you got the Assyri here and here. So if they push back up into here, then they're sitting really good. They're already two towns up. No, you gotta get me. Go into the freaking place. And I know there was a train of thought I had just lost. Damn. I don't know if I had mentioned it about the person that sent me. Was it him? Did I mention that? That's what I might not have mentioned. Somebody sent me a message about how boring it is, and which, yeah, I mean, it gets super boring. And he had suggested about caravans giving a little bit of trade XP to the actual person that is sent out the caravans. So that way they wouldn't be stuck into having to just constantly trade all the time. And that's what I'm actually looking for, and I've asked for is suggestions of what to do. So that way when this is all done and I go back to Mexico, I can give him a few ideas, because if you just give him one, maybe two ideas, the team could just come back and reject them. However, if you have multiple ideas, then that can make it easier for them to say, okay, well, maybe we can do this. With my luck, they're not going to do anything. And it does not seem like he's gaining hardly any leadership. Now, it could be because he's not hiring a lot of prisoners, because he's only fighting bandits. I don't know. But now he's going to gain a little bit of leadership because I just hit him with Steward perk, so he's going to be able to recruit some guys now. He's going to be able to recruit 10 more guys right away. That's what I got to be concerned with. Still got 2,000. There's no real good place to buy fish until I get back up into Vlandia. I don't think I'll get that much. No, actually good. I got a little bit. I gotta recruit a few guys. I'm a little undecided on the emissary system right now. I don't think it gives enough where people are unhappy about the trading, running caravans, in which they feel it doesn't give enough money to invest in a companion into it. I kind of feel that way with the emissary system. The emissary system, or the with death turned on, it's going to make it really, really tough. You're going to have to make some tough choices because the chance of losing of a companion is pretty high. But you got to decide if you want those perks from being a captain. And I don't know if it's really worth it myself. I especially don't think I would really want to. I mean, what that also is what worries me later on is whenever it seems like you choose when you have an army and it's your companions that are leading the other army, they always seem to want to choose to pick a captain like cavalry or something like that, or horse archer. It doesn't seem like they ever want to take the role that in which they are assigned. So to me, that is worrisome because that's the last thing you want to do is have people dying. Now, obviously, I don't know how often you're going to lose them at 2%, because that doesn't mean you're going to lose them every 50 battles, because it's only a 2% chance when they go down in battle. And they don't always go down in battle. But still, if they were to go down, let's say, half the time, that means you would average losing them every 100 battles. Now, I don't know how many battles I actually did in a game. I've never kept track. I would assume it's well over 100 and 200, or, I mean, it's going to make it a really tough choice to figure out what you want to make your family members. And one of the things is then your wife. But I've already explained how that's just completely exploitable. I mean, literally. You can exploit that so bad it's freaking ridiculous. And it's going to end up happening to me. I'm going to end up doing it. Just because my wife's going to end up dying in battle. And what it entails is that your wife, you get together with your wife, she ends up dying, which allows you to go out and marry another person. Then you go marry another person, and you do the same thing again and again, and it's a never-ending process. You could continue to do that over and over and over again, which I don't think is a smart aspect of the game. I would very much hate to see them restrict to you only having one wife when your wife dies, but therein lies the fact of death. And that's where some people actually take things out of context for me on the web, on the forums. I'm not against the death mechanic at all. I'm not against it. I'm not against any mechanic if it's implemented correctly. And death right now is not implemented correctly. So why would I be for a broken mechanic? Why would anyone? And that's all I'm trying to say. I still think death at 2% is going to be too high. It's going to be extremely hard to track that number, though. That's what's going to be difficult, because not every lord in a kingdom is going to be fighting. So what you're going to have to do, and I don't know if Tailworld can do this better, is you're going to have to count out how many lords are in a kingdom. Then, like, run it for 20 years and then see how many lords, and it might not just be even a kingdom, it might have to just be overall. And then try to figure it out that way. And are you losing too many? Are you gaining too many? I don't know. But therein lies the fact that, which I've already said, that I feel that armor is too low in this game. I don't feel that it provides enough protection, in my opinion. I think it should supply more. When you take the fact that you could be dressed up in some of the best gear in the game, and then a pack of looters can come up and hit you with 20 rocks and down you go. And you just think about that for a second. Throw 20 rocks at me and I'm gone. And the best armor in the game. Now just imagine somebody wearing full plate, helmet, everything. And somebody were to throw 20 rocks at you. I know if you threw 20 rocks perfectly at somebody's head, you could knock them unconscious. I don't think you would actually kill them. Could that act? Look at how fast olives go down. Jeez. Now I'm almost out of olives. It just doesn't feel right to me. Armor, I think, should have just how they have a troop is specialized against another troop. Just like they say that shock troops are the anti-heavy infantry troop, they should have the same thing for arrows. Obviously, piercing arrows, I would say would be better. I think piercing is that better for I believe non-armor? So obviously, if you're doing piercing arrows and you do headshots against leather or something like that, you would do a lot of damage. But against armor, it wouldn't do as much, you would assume. I'm just guessing for a second. I think that's what it is. Cutting is real bad against... Cutting is terrible against armor. I thought blunt was best against armor. Now I can't remember. Or, no, it could be piercing. It would pierce the armor. So it would just be nice if they had that. And that's where I've suggested before in having bow crafters and fletchers. So, you know, it would do more damage against some people and less damage against others. Just because of the armor that they're wearing. Removing of blunt weapons, that does suck. But somebody did kind of try to explain that to me, and the fact that it sounded like blunt arrows were almost completely ignoring all armor. I think that's how it was explained. But it doesn't really matter a whole lot to me because I do convert over into my arrows. And the more I think about it, I actually would think that earlier in the game, I might want to run the stacked bodkins, and then late game, my stacked step arrows. Because from what I was told, damage is calculated, or skill is calculated on damage. So if we both fire a shot at a guy that has 5 HP, and I don't know if overkill matters. But if one does 50 damage and one does 100 damage, you're going to gain more experience with 100 damage. So a stacked bodkin arrow has 4 damage. No, that's 3 damage. Piercing have 4. Where the stacked step have 2 damage, but they have more arrows. That's the difference from piercing to stacked bodkin to stacked step. Piercing has 4 and a lot less arrows. Stack Bodkin has 3 damage with a little more arrows. Stack Step have 2 damage with a lot more arrows. So that's where you have to pick your poison. So the only problem though is that stacked bodkins are really expensive. They're 6,000 a stack. So in the early to mid game, 6,000 is a lot of money. Where I think stacked steps only cost like 4,000. So they're a lot cheaper. Alright, you don't have fish. I gotta really watch this closely because we're starting to get to a point here where I feel like the inflation is really starting to take over. And that is going to cause problem in the last bit of the game. It's going to cause a huge problem. We're not making a whole lot right now, and that's because we went around the outside of the map, and that's not where you make your money. You make your money going through Empire territory. So the spice vendor gained charm. So here I'm going to make an assumption. If a companion goes to a town and they stay there for a little bit, they might actually get the chance to perform an emissary task. That's what I'm thinking. There's no reason why she should have gained any charm whatsoever. So I think that's what happened with her. Is she went to a town and stayed there for a little bit, maybe to recruit or something, and then they gave her an emissary role, is what I'm assuming. See, we're not making much. In fact, I need to watch this really close now. I'm not doing this. I don't know if we're 50 days in already. I gotta write this down. We're at 1,100 days. Because we started at 1050 because I'm going 150 days an episode, so... look how long it's taking. Jeez. Memory leak. Are we 1,100 yet? I'm gonna fall asleep here in a minute. 1090. We have 10 days to go. So right about the time we get into Empire territory is when we're gonna hit 1,100. I don't know why this feels so painful compared to the other one. I mean, it was 1,380 days on the other one. Maybe it's just psychological because I know I'm so far away still. That could be it. And you can see we haven't had any amazing sales. There we go. Now we're going down the lake, which is normally not that good. I think I would do episodes. Yeah, I thought. Trying to remember when I was doing the 1,000-day challenge. I would make it around 3/4 of the map in about 40 minutes or so. And I'm trying to remember how many days that was. If it was about 20 days or so. I think 3/4 of the map is like more like about 25 days. I know it's not super long to go all the way around the map. It's maybe 40, 45 days at most, I would think. And it's not a huge number. I think that would be the outcast getting a level. 644 with the Wool Weaver. That is definitely a charm check. Here is where it actually happened, though. I know it was here in Ascar. I watched a guy attack a villager and then come into town. If you attack a villager, you're at war. How can you come into town? And I should have wrote it down or something in my notes to find out exactly where it was. Because that's a pretty bad bug. If you want to stop and think about that for a second, you could have guys that are going after your villagers, minor clans, plundering them, and then able to walk right into your towns themselves or do anything they want to do. So that's a pretty big deal. That's not a minor issue. It's up to 6. Yeah, I doubt you're going to get 5 anymore. But we still... Oh, we got 4,000. Oh, we don't need any. That's going to last us a nice long time. Yeah, we're good on that. We'll see what our date is once we get to Orchijo. That'll put us like right there at the 1100 mark. I mean, it's not bad. We're an hour and 15 in for 50 days. We're close to 50 days. That's good. That means we're only about another 2.5 hours. That would actually put us like under 4 hours to get 150 days in. That's really good. I do think though I spent a lot of time talking and doing other things in the last episode, so I did think that I did drag it out a bit, where I need to be a little bit smarter about it. But there are times in which I want to be really careful about how much I say, because when you're trying to do things at the same time, you can make some serious mistakes in the game. So I don't want that to happen, especially when you're doing something as important as this, in which you're trying to provide accurate and valuable information to the devs. It's not something that you want to mess with. Grain, look at that, grain at 6, wow. We're going to go up one more. There we go. 274. Nowhere close to where we need to be. I think we're falling even further behind. Now, It's going to be a little bit, it could be, the numbers could be a little bit off because we're about to go through Empire territory where we know we're going to make some sales. So we're right at that point where this 100 days is not going to be a lot, but the next 100 days we could instantly get 2 points right off the bat by having two great. Well, probably by now you got to pull like 60, 70,000 just to go ahead and get a single point right now. So that could be a little bit off. At 2,500 is enough. I'm happy with that. I think I'll hit Ortesia since we're not going to get another level. So even if we do run a couple days over, it's not going to matter because we already know we just hit this level, and we're going to have to literally pull 60 to 80,000 minimum in sales just to get enough profit out of that to get another level. So we got time before we're going to get another point. It's pretty much set in stone. I should just call it. I think it's safe to say I can call it right now, unless I were to just get two massive sales. We're not gaining another point. And I can just go ahead and call that. Oh my word. Oh. And my hard drive is not going nuts either. It's not going hardly anything yet. We're 1097. Unless we make two massive sales, there's no way we're hitting that. Yeah, we're like right at the beginning. We're not going to hit 275. We would have to pull a 30,000 sale here, probably another 30,000 sale at the next place we go to, and that is just not happening. We should easily hit 275 in Empire territory. Easily hit it. And we're at 4.4 right now. I might have spoke too soon. Now we're about to pull a friggin' 20k sale. Yeah. Telling people we're not going to make a ton of money, and look at this. There's an instant 20k sale. First place. We were barely started in the level. Where does this 20k sale put us? Probably not even a quarter. Yeah. Pretty much maybe a quarter on a 20k sale. So you're looking at 80,000. Of course, that all depends on profits. So we're pretty much set that 1100 is 274. And at 1100 we were at 287. So we are minus 13, which is right about on par. If we were losing basically 3 every 100 days. We lost 3, 3, 3, and now 4. So we're pretty much on par. Now it seems like maybe we might be losing 4, but I don't think I did as much Empire trading in the last 100 days. You're going to see here where we're gonna make some sales. It just always seems like Empire needs it because it's kind of like they're in the middle of the map where all the action is and people are around. So this time we are heading to Zayanica. They have had reports of very high prices, and I don't normally like to go there a lot, but with the reports that I've seen lately from my caravans, whew. And then we'll hope that Poros is good again. And do I have somebody captured? I can't remember now. I thought I had sent her back up. Oh, there we go. No, he's staying there. No, we're good. No, we're not. Alright. Spice vendor. So the spice vendor got captured. And they're considering she's an emissary because she's just staying at Byzantium. So that's why she's gaining skill. That's a lot of fish. And of course now they don't have a lot. We'll only make 7,500. I got to figure out when I'm going to start my massive sale off as I normally do. A lot of times with the 1,000-day challenge, I do that with about 125 days to go. I go on a massive selling spree. So I'll probably do the same thing again, but it's going to be a little harder to determine on this because I only have 8 points instead of 10. So it's going to be a little different. I don't know. Good old Poros. Quite a few times you come through here, you get that really good sale, just like right now. Oh, 22K? 22,000. We're over halfway through 274. We're almost to our worthless perk. It's still amazing to say that there's a 275 perk in the game that's virtually worthless. Great job, Tail World. You get an attaboy for that. A gold star. Are they under siege, or is that just a bug? And they're just bugged. I wonder if you left 2 companions in the same city, would they work doubly hard to get that? Would you be able to stack that? That's an idea. That's something I'm thinking I want to try. Throw all my companions in one city and see if they all work to gain relation or if only one does it. I don't know if Tail World has thought about that. Because you look how long it takes to gain. If you had all 8 of your companions, or at tier 6, 9 companions, all in one spot, would you just be constantly gaining relation? Andy. It's just something about Empire territory. It's like they're always at war. They always need supplies. And I think it's with the amount of wars that they're in. I brought that actually up to Tail World. And it seems like the Empire is at war with more people than any other kingdoms in the game. They have more. You go to their page and it shows how many people they're at war with, and it always seems that you average it out, they're always at war with more. Now, it can mess up the numbers that it shows when they're at war with minor clans. But it just seems like with kingdoms, because it always feels like that the Empire is always fighting within itself. So while they're weakening themselves, other kingdoms can just come in and pounce on them. .8 speed. Like I say, you go through Empire territory, and all of a sudden, your speed starts going up because you're just getting rid of a ton of stuff. I think we are going to go. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to pop over. Because I haven't been to Volstrom in a bit. I want to go check out and see how they're doing. Definitely feels like fish is breaking free. I just can't deal in flax and clay. It's just going to be way too much room. You have to buy so much. It's like dealing really in. It's like fish almost. I mean, here you're buying clay at 14, and you're gonna sell for 20 maybe or so. So I just don't want to deal that much in it. It just. I look at the fact that you deal in profit, so I have all that grain. But when you come across that town that's paying 20 for grain, you get lucky enough to do that. It's just so much of that is profit. 75% of that's profit to begin with. And then it can jump down to maybe 50%. And that's what is your trade skill. Doesn't matter how much you sell. If you're selling at a loss, you're getting nothing. Because you're not getting profit. So you can't go by how much it's sold. You gotta just kind of estimate the profit that you made on it. Okay, no. Line is good. .9 speed. I will have to do a restart here soon, just because of the memory leak. So we should be getting close to 275 now. Yep. I don't think we're going to hit 280 this episode. That would be 5 points in 100 days, and right now we're only on a pace for, I mean, really 3 points or so every 100 days. So I think hitting 278 this episode would be amazing, because the focus rate is getting smaller and smaller. And we've only, what have we been averaging? We gained 10, 6, 5. That's the last 100 days. We've gained 10, and then 6, and then 5. So, yeah, like I said, if we hit 278, I'll be happy, because that'll be 4 points. See, this is starting to get close now. It's practically right there to be buying at 10. Because soon what is going to end up happening is you're going to start buying at 10, and then you're going to start selling at 20. Is what you're going to do. Are you kidding me? Nothing. I probably could have sold a tool or two. The one thing we haven't encountered a lot are wars. Coming up to places that are under siege. We haven't had that a lot. That's where you make the boatload of your money. But I really haven't been watching as well because of the system being bugged. It's showing that something is under siege when in fact it's not under siege. I got 1,400, that's fine. 1,200. There's my linen. $2.4 million. Is that 2.4? Yeah, we're really starting to go up now. We've made some really good sales. Caravan. Still realistically junk, 1,100. $1,100 for 6 of them. That's not even 200. So I almost feel like it's a waste to be sending them all out. I mean, I really get. It just seems like you're getting penalized, is what it feels like. If I had to just take a guess, that the system is penalizing you for running multiple caravans. To me, that's what it feels like. Because how can you make 500 with one caravan, but then you throw out 5 more or 4 more, and then you cut your profits in half? It don't make sense. Mathematically, it makes no sense. So here's our junk perk. Do we want recruitment of minor factions to be less? Or do we want to gain one relation if we spend 10,000? I mean, really, when you're to this point, and here's my point with this perk. When you're at this point now, you're not going to normally be spending 10,000, and even when you do one relation means absolutely nothing. And then that's a governor perk. So this means nothing. This is literally a waste for a player. This one, at least, maybe it does have a little bit of a monetary value, but just a little. But for a 275 perk to offer that, just disappointing in every sense. I think practically every perk, but maybe right around the 100 or 100 perk is better than that. Virtually every other perk, but to have a 275 perk, offer very little as far as that. I mean, yeah, minor factions though. If you're going to deal a lot in minor factions, you really want to invest into it. Okay, that I can see. Because minor factions can be expensive at times. So, okay, I'll give them that. They can definitely cost you a pretty penny to do. So, yeah, I'll definitely give that to them. But besides that, it's just junk. And give us a perk that we really want to use, because I mean, all the 275 perks in the game are just outstanding. And you could say, well, we're getting a good one at 300, but however, it doesn't mean that a 275 perk should be mainly useless. I mean, there's realistically no choice in the matter. You're going to be choosing Merry Men. If you have a governor, you're going to be choosing the other one. There's just no reason to choose that other perk. If you spend 5,000, you gain 2 or 3. All right. Now we have a discussion. But still, I don't think it's worth it. You would literally have to give me like 5 if I spent 5,000 to take that perk. If I don't get that, I never take it. And I don't see how anybody could justify taking that perk. There's just no way you could. Because really, what seriously does one relation do for you? It means literally nothing. We are starting to get a little low on meat. And now we're going right back down. But that's what you get when you come through a series. You're gonna buy. We were down to like 4.5. We jumped back up to 5. Only 2.1 million? And I think the most frustrating thing is when you're trying to deal with Tail World. You're trying to deal with people that aren't normally speaking English. It's not their native language. So things can get lost in translation. So you're trying to get them to understand something, but they might not completely understand it. Because I don't even know how many of them are using Google to translate. But I don't think the message can get across clear enough at times when you're voicing a concern. I can definitely come up with instances. A little bit of a decent sale here. Nothing spectacular, a 10K sale. Nothing like the 30, 40K sales that we should be getting. But for some reason, we just can't catch any wars. I mean, look. That's the only one that shows there's currently a siege going on. And I think at this point we're going to run up into Melandia. It's really what it comes down to, and it sucks to say this, but if you're going to trade, you need to deal in horses. I don't know who would want to spend all this time trading this. You really, until they do something about that. I know they don't want people dealing in horses. I already know it. They don't think people should be. They didn't mean for that to happen, is kind of what I'm getting at. They did not mean for horses to be such great sellers that that's all you deal with. They didn't mean that. Which, that's fine. But you got to give us some avenue to actually hit 300. I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing this again. You're not going to catch me doing this unless there's some incentive or something. Because, man, this is just... I could have been messing around, live streaming, doing something. But the longer this goes on, it just kind of upsets me. That I have to go through this to prove to them that there's a problem. I mean, it is literally this simple. I walk up, I'm Mexico, to the Tail World representative, or whatever you want to call them that's responsible for trade. And I say, look, it's 15 to 20 years acceptable to get 300. The person looks at him and says yes or no. If they say no, then they do something about it. It's that simple. How is that not more obvious? How else should that conversation go? How differently can it be? And that's just kind of my point, where I know that Mexico has to jump through hoops sometimes to get things done. And I know that there are some things that he wants or has wanted to do and has actually been rejected by the team. There are some things in which he can try to make changes, and there are some things in which he has to try to get authorization for. So he does not have full autonomy to do anything he wants to do. So some things are out of his control. So he tries his best to get things done, but in the long run, he's got to answer to people too. So there's only so much talk that I can do with him to get him to realize there's a problem, in which he's got to go to somebody else and rely on their judgment. And if that person doesn't want to deal with it, then they're just not going to deal with it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I'm telling you right now, they better make this change. After me doing this, there better be a change. I built this channel on the beta branch. But too many more things like this happening and not making changes, it can drive me off of it to the main branch and the mod. It can. And I don't want to do that. I mean, when you build your channel on something, you want to stay true to that. And I built this on covering the beta branch, because I don't think there's many people that do it. How many people cover the beta branch exclusively? They don't mod. Every week they give you updates and scouring the forums. How many people are out there that specifically just do that? So what I'm trying to do is bring unique content to people where you can't get it everywhere else. And I do think that gives me a little bit of an advantage, because not everybody does that, or hardly anyone does that for, I don't think anyone does. So I kind of bring that perspective that you can't get from other people. So I think that sets me apart a little bit in that aspect. And I want to try to remain true to that. There's always going to be time to mod. When the game goes live, there's going to be tons of chances to mod. But there's only going to be one chance to cover the beta branch, and that's while it's in early access. So I feel like I'm always going to have the chance to actually mod the game. But I don't think you can ever get back what you're doing right now in covering the beta branch. It's not always going to be there. So I feel like I want to remain true and give people that perspective of the beta branch that they will not always get. I don't know of anybody else that does a weekly beta branch update. I can't think of anybody. I'm quite shocked that some haven't tried to copy it, because there are some channels out there that are a lot bigger than mine, and they could be getting a ton of views off of it. That's normally what happens in the YouTube world. Somebody sees something that's working and they all got to copy it. So I'm actually a little surprised somebody hasn't attempted to do it yet. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No sales. Yeah, well, it's going up. Oil is slowly going up. It's really starting to go now. I don't think we're going to go up north in this episode. I think in this one right here, I think we're going to cut through Britannia into Empire territory. Oh, great. There goes like Heron. I think that's what we're going to do. We went up through Landia last time. A little bit of a failure on my part because I didn't go to the 2 fishing towns. But I want to go through Empire territory. Yeah, we're buying a bunch. And now it's going to be 10 times worse. We're coming back to our wonderful Praven, in which we're going to buy 40,000 worth of stuff probably. Depending on the prices. Just look at this. Look how crazy this looks. We need manhunters, Tail World. Are manhunters, is that a florist mod? That's my problem with playing florist. Played florist for so damn long that I can't remember what the heck is florist and what's vanilla. For the life of me, I have no damn clue. Look at all how cheap this is. Yeah, we went nuts on this. But that's Praven for you, because now you went through and you bought all 26,000 worth of stuff, and that's obvious. Because now we got so much stuff right now. How much are we up to? We've only got 17,000 consumables. That's less than what I have in my normal ones. Normally I would carry 25,000. We're going to move a lot better as soon as we get that clan tier 6. We're going to get 15 more men, which is going to allow us to carry a lot more. Alright, now I got to be careful on grapes and olives. I need to see about running them down to 25 now. Alright, I got to watch that. They're calling 38 red for butter. Doesn't shock me. Where's your hardwood? I think they're going to be too expensive. They're going to be in the 20s. And I saw grain for 7. We got plenty of grain. I've been buying grain at 5 and 6, so there's no reason to buy it. Really needed was hardwood. Hardwood is such an amazing seller because you come up here and get it at 20, and then you go down into a Siri territory and sell it for 40 plus. You double your money. But for some reason, the price has skyrocketed up for mostly over 20. But I still feel Saiyanon is the reason why. Oh, that's good. Okay. Saiyanon. When you have those 3 villages together, it really drives down the price. However, if they get burned or they get separated because of war, then Xeonon's value really starts to go up, and that's what causes the global average. Now they're at peace, and these guys are under 20 now. I think I should reload the game. We are about halfway through here, and this would be a good opportunity to reload. Get rid of this memory leak. Decent. They don't have much though. Oh, definitely that. Yeah, it's taking a while. All right, it's definitely time to do it. I'm gonna reload the game because these are taking so long and you lose time on it. So that memory leak, I will be right back. All right, we got that reloaded. Follow that army wherever they're going. Taney is not normally a very good seller. They have a lot of even keeled prices right at the middle of the road. So they're not the best. You see grain at 7, grapes at 11. Still got over 1,000 grapes. I would probably have bought more had I had more room to do so. We're gonna follow and see what this guy does. They're probably going back to their own territory. I don't know if they're at war with Blandia. I could only assume that's the reason why they're up here. I'm kind of holding these right now because I do feel that inflation is starting to go. And I figure if maybe I were to hold some of this stuff another 50 to 100 days, I could start seeing some real huge profits coming from it. Because we're going to get to the point in which we're going to sell. We're just going to go crazy selling. I do that in all my playthroughs. I just absolutely go crazy just selling everything I can. And we just make a ton of money. Normally in the last 100 days is when I think I get closer to about 125 or so. Another one attacked by looters. Yeah, caravans are an absolute debacle right now. They've gone from caravans from being great money makers now to they're almost worthless. I'm probably going to end up making a video on it and explaining all the viewpoints to it. But pretty much that, there you go, the price is starting to come down. All three of them are coming together. I'm probably going to end up dealing with that, in which I'm going to state all the facts of how they don't make much, how they get attacked constantly, especially late. There you go. Captured again. So I'm probably going to end up making that video. And I think I'm going to frame it a little bad. And the reason why I want to, I think, do that is because I would like to hashtag it on Twitter to see if I could get Tail World's attention. Alright, that's got me a little intrigued right there. Are they going to actually go siege something or not? Alright, well they left that, which means normally when that happens, if they're going to go after a castle, not a town. Since in my test that I've done, it seems like Sturgill likes to go for castles more than anything. Yeah, now we're going to go through Empire territory where we can make some sales. Now we should be able to make some money. I don't know, I'm actually thinking about recording a second episode tonight. I could probably get away with that. If I grab something to eat quick, I could possibly get a second episode up. In which that would put me a full day ahead, which means I could get 1350 done tonight, which is already over the 1318 that we did with 10 points. And if I were to double episode it tomorrow, I could be practically done on Thursday. That is a possibility, because you never know. I did see on the Steam database that they did put up a multiplayer content update. I shouldn't say update, but a test up there, so you never know if that's the initial stages of a patch starting. I got 21 on the grand. Well, I like going through Empire territory, as you can see. Almost 27,000. Still didn't gain a point. Must be close. Yeah. Close to 276. When I reloaded the game back in Britannia, I was at 1123. So that put us 77 days from being done. So we're probably approaching less than 70 days now until this episode is done. Can I do 8 hours of this? That is the question, without going absolutely insane. Prices are starting to go up. Oh, let's go check the hardwood. Almost should have ran down and checked the other ones as well. Oh, of course you did that. So now I'm thinking maybe I haven't been over to Sinopa in a while, but now I'm starting to wonder, should I maybe go head down here, check out Serenia, and then come back up to Imprella? I haven't been down to these much. It's a gamble. You're talking about it could be a 4 or 5 day gamble, but it only takes one good sale to make it worth it. One 30,000 sale. And it looks like this paid off. Why not? I'm not sure if we're going to get there. And we might not get there. So by the initial look, it was going to pay off. However, everything dried up really fast. And I mean super fast. It's 2,700. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. They don't even have enough for it. Oh, I don't care. I'm not gonna, sit there and go through all that again because they don't have 2,600. There's a new clan. Nope, not doing it. Look at all my guys are over here. All but one. Yeah, can you guys like split up just a little bit? I made about 15,000. Was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, 15,000 for virtually 5 days. I guess you could call profit, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm definitely not going to regret the move, but you would have hoped that you would have gotten more. We did hit 276. How close into the 278 range, I think, is the key, is what we're going to hit. All depends on if we get a really, really big sale, in which normally when you're heading into Cruzite in a Siri territory, you're not getting that. Now, one of the problems that we really have is the fact that Valandia took over all of Botania for the most part. So there's no continuing war going on driving down the prices. Since, of course, as a trader, war is good for business. So when you don't have that war going on, you're not able to get those prices dropping. So that pretty much hurt us. I think it's a smarter move now, instead of running Imprella all the way over to Balkahan. Maybe I'm going to come over here and hit McKeb and go up McKeb that way. I haven't been used to doing that, and I think I need to really concentrate on doing that. because they do seem to like the oil. And we can get a little bit of green going. That already right there makes it worth it. Any kind of sale like this instantly makes it worth it. I'm really waiting for those prices to jump up into the red. They're going to. Just don't know when. 6,000, 6,000. Not going to complain about it. So, we're going to make it back around again into Kuzite territory. I don't know how much we're going to finish. I haven't really calculated in a while how long it takes to get through the whole map. But I really do want this done before Friday. I would love to start working on a new episode of maybe The Rogue by Friday. I'd love to have an episode out on Friday. So that way when people come home on Friday, they have something that they can watch. Since quite a few people had been looking at that. So if I can force myself for the next 2 days to get this done, then I could technically start the Rogue and have an episode ready to go on Friday, which is what I'd like to do. However, everything is back up in the air again. The thing that would really, really bother me is if 1.5.7 came out on Thursday and they redid engineering and didn't fix roguery. Oh man, that would bite me real bad. Because then I would want to do the general and not the rogue. I think that would really get to me if they did that. Because I already started the rogue, and I don't want to give up on the rogue. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's 20. However, I still really want to test. And you just think about if, with all the perks and everything, if you got your guy up to like 300 engineering, could he just build siege engines or siege equipment one at a time and still build them fast enough that he wouldn't have to build one, put it to, and move it to inventory? He could just build them so fast that it wouldn't take you but maybe about 3 or 4 days of building equipment, and you're all of a sudden knocking down all the walls. Is that possible? And that's what I want to test. So that could be something that would really bug me, is if they did that, because obviously I want to play the general. I think that's probably my number one thing that I want to play. I love the thought of that build. I was ecstatic when I came up with that idea for it. I think it's a great test because you do get to test also medicine, although medicine still has its problems. It's still really difficult to gain late in the game. I think medicine needs an increase in its focus rate. Gaining the first 50 to 75 points is good. However, after that, I think it's really, really slow. And I mean dead slow. Even if you're talking about constant 1,000-man armies and having 400 troops go wounded, I still don't think you get enough. 400 troops wounded. You gain anytime somebody goes down in battle and they're unconscious. And then you gain again when an unconscious person comes back to full life. And I think if you're constantly doing those battles and you're not gaining that much, I think that is a huge problem. I do think that is something that they are going to need to address. But once again, that's going to be a war, an absolute war, to get Tail World to agree to that. It's going to be bad. That could be one of those things where I might have to run through my entire general build and show them what I'm at just to prove to them it's bad. But I know it's bad. Medicine's terrible. And there's a lot of people on the forums that will tell you that. But you just have so many people with different viewpoints. It's hard to get your point across because as soon as you put something up on the forums, you either have some people agreeing with you or just vehemently denying it and just going after you. It's hard to get a point across without the peanut gallery opening up their mouths. It's just absolutely ridiculous at times. I actually had somebody on the forums telling me that Tail World implementing death only by old age with birth on was a waste of their time. That was his point. He flat out said, he said the devs will not waste their time doing it. And almost to the point where he was attacking me. I finally just muted him. But you're going to get people like that. He was just completely selfish is what it was. I'm not that way. I'm all for options. I've said it before. Civilization 6, do they give you freaking options? Anybody that's played Civ 6 lately knows that when you go to advanced settings, there are so many freaking things you can do to customize your game. And I know Bannerlord is a little different because we are dealing with a complex economy and battle system. So it's a little bit different to do. However, I still think there's room for improvement. And in my case, in rebuttal to this guy, I would say, okay, give us death by old age only and birth, but don't specifically work Lord's economy and things like that for that setting. Work it for old age. Or work it for death, true death. We'll live with the consequences. And we'll find modders to adjust it ourselves. But at least give us that option. And you already know when the person starts mentioning things like, we already gave you Barney mode, which some younger people might not know what that means, but just basically saying it's for kiddies. Well, I mean, that's just plain and simply stupid and rude, and it just shows his immaturity. It's like me when I want to test something, I specifically looking to do testing. So there's times when I don't want death on. There might be time when I do want it on, which I already know there are times I'm going to want it on. But, you know, it's like, give us the options. And I think that's one of the most important things that a company can do, is to give you options. That way you're not tailoring the game to one person. I don't know why they can't give more options. I don't know. I couldn't think that their code is that terrible that they can't do it. Yeah, Civilization can. I mean, it's insane when you go into Civ 6. Jeez. You can literally spend 5 minutes running through all the options they have. 5 minutes. I actually thought about loading that up and doing a couple playthroughs on there. Just to bypass the time. I actually had a few of those videos up. But I ended up deleting most of the stuff off my channel when I started this. So I don't know how far we're going to get. Once we get up into probably somewhere into Valandia or so, maybe up into Botania. Wait a minute. No, we're going through Empire territory. So maybe once we get back up around, we're going to be already at 1150. So we're only going to be 50 days from this episode being done. So it's going by, but I just don't know if I'm going to get a second one in tonight. I've thought about it, but I am not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. I just don't know if I can sit through another 4 hours of this. It's bad enough just doing it once a day. Now, it would be better if I could force myself to go through it to get it finished faster and to move on to something else. It would be a much better idea. But we're once again, we're at that point where we don't know when the patch is. Oh wow, 101. And you don't really want to start a playthrough, begin it, and then have the patch come out and then have to restart again. And that's why I thought about the road. Because if I were to just mess around a little bit on the rogue and start going after some specific things like, you know, looking for the extortion by deserters, working companion skills, going after some bandit bases because they give higher level troops, or just becoming a freaking mercenary and start turning in a bunch of I got a horse. A charger. Huh. It's a higher tier. To me, it's just not worth it. All right, to me. And the reason why is the HP. And I can't get away from high HP. So many people are like, yeah, they want the speed and maneuverability, but man, I lose horses a lot, and with them going lame now, it's just that much more important to have high HP. And I don't. The only one that I would upgrade that to is it Cossin? I think is what it's called. That's about the only one I would upgrade it to. In which, of course, I don't have one. Now, of course, I haven't been looking at Imperial tournaments to see. Since that's where they come from. See where we're at. About 11:40, 11:45, maybe 11:40, 11:46, right about there. Pretty much on track what I was thinking. 54 days to go, and this episode is done. We're 2/3 of the way there in 2.5 hours, which is really good. I mean, we're only hitting about an hour and 12 minutes for 50 days. That means we're gonna do this in under 4 hours. Where yesterday's episode was over 5 hours long, and that's a lot better for me because that literally saves 2 to 3 hours worth of uploading and processing. So that's really good for me. You know, you get this done in less than 4 hours. Um, that could make it a little bit more desirable to run another one of these. It definitely can. Well, we're kind of staying the same in money, but you'll see it. Once we get up to that last, what I'm figuring is 100 days, I don't know when it is yet, which is probably going to be right around 295, right around the 295 range is when I'm going to go nuts. And look at that. The spice vendor gets captured again. Although I do have 2, possibly 3 spice vendors. But look, captured again. Big surprise. They're ridiculous. I should do the math on that. And I think that's what I might do in the video. I might do a bunch of math when I'm talking about the caravans and the absolute failure that they've done with them. I mean, the thing that really kind of upsets me is Mexico thinks they're fine. And I sit around and do the math in my head and think to myself, there is no way possible that you can think this is fine. I think we got too much. Yeah, we got too much grain. We don't need any. There's no way. You can't tell me that losing a caravan every 6, well, I want to say 6 months, but every 2 months. If you do the math on that, I mean, you look at how much I'm making. Now that is under 1,000, and that would be 8, 7, 6, 5 caravans. I'm making less than 200 a day. Less. According to their math, if we do this correctly, and we're going to give Tailworld the benefit of the doubt, and saying that a caravan's going to last 4 years. If you make 180 a day, which we're about doing, that is 14,760 profit. It costs more for a non-Assyri to send out an upgraded caravan. It's 15,250. So let's take it a step further. Did I do that right? I didn't do that right, did I? Oh no, I didn't do that right. Okay, let me redo this again. There is 84 days in a year times 4 times 180. That comes out to 60,480. If you subtract the 22,500 it cost the non-Assyri to make it, you're getting 37,000 profit before a caravan will be plundered. 38,000 profit. Is it worth investing 22,000 into a caravan to take a gamble to make 38,000 in 4 years? That's one battle. That's one big battle on the map. And that's what I don't get from them. They're saying that caravans are making 100,000 in 3 to 4 years. I hate to tell you, Tail World, you're wrong. Because there are caravans that are making 100 or 100,000 every 3 to 4 years. But I'll guarantee you, Tail World did a single caravan test. I could do a single caravan test right now and get those numbers. Because I could send out a caravan right now that is going to make 500 to 700 a day. However, when you add more than one caravan, that is when your profits absolutely plummet. For no good reason, I will tell you. There's no good reason why those profits should be plummeting. So I think that is where their problem lies, is they don't understand that the prices of your profits shouldn't be plummeting by 50% because you add just 4 caravans, which would be equivalent to 4% more caravans. 4%. That would mean there would be 4% less profit between everybody. Not 50% less profit. So that's why I say the numbers don't add up. If you logically do it in your head, 4% more caravans equals 50% less profit. A 6-year-old could practically figure that out. Literally, a 6-year-old. I just don't get how they don't realize that that's not right. And then the other way is that caravan profits are going to go down as the game goes on. That's even worse to know. It's just like, you got crappy caravans now. Prepare, because in the mid to late game, you're going to be making even less. I can't wait to do it. I'm going to get this video together. I think I almost really want to hurry up and get this done. And I want to think that I want to get this video done, even though it's going to change in 1.5.7. There is going to be a increase, and they're talking about probably about a 25% increase in caravan profits. I still don't like it. No senor, no me gusto. Hopefully that was good enough for Flavius. No, sir. I don't like it. Normally you can see the siege equipment. That's what I was looking for. I want to go up there. I want to get up there. There's siege and that could help out. Somebody went in. Alright, finally we get the good meat here. They haven't been good lately, but we finally got some. See, I'm mostly on a selling spree. I will buy from time to time. Um, Why, hello there. My little kitty hops on me like he's a parrot. Hops right on my shoulder. Especially while I'm playing. He likes to just sit here. Likes to watch the mouse cursor move across the screen. Let's get up to Sargot and see what they've done. There's their army. Are they going to go siege down there? I think they're going to siege. We might have to go back down there. Hey, Spice Bender, why don't we send you back out again? I would be really interested to know how many I've lost. I know I've lost at least 3 Spice Benders, 3 Raggeds, a Wanderer. Of course, that's 7, and we've been playing for 12 years, so that's not actually very good numbers. You're supposed to lose a caravan. One caravan is supposed to last, let's say, 4 years. So if you have 7 caravans, all 7 caravans should be plundered in 7 years. Which, if you do the math, that's every half a year you should lose a caravan, on average. So I'm pretty sure we're at that number. It just gets annoying to have to deal with all the time. You just can't make the profit, and unfortunately, this doesn't look good. I see velvet, a little bit of beer. However, I am extremely interested in what's going down, and if they're going to be attacking that Siri, they're going to be going after Charis. I am extremely interested in that. Now, I am not going to take a chance on going to Jacqueline. I think they're going to go after it. I really. Oh, there's that army. Where's their army going now? They're probably just going to go raid. They stopped. Are we out of food? Is that what it is? I still feel like that's wrong too. Look at all the green. Look at it. I still feel it's wrong. Not much, a little bit. If they would have successfully sieged it, that'd have been different. I'm wondering if they're out of food. How can you go down here to try to do a siege and run out of food? Let's see if they run out of food. I'm not going to be able to tell because I'm not going to stick around. Oh, they're coming over. Oh, they might be stopping because they're going to try to siege this. Ah, there we go. That's why they stopped sieging. Here they come. Yay. Oh, they pieced out. Haha, perfect timing. Go in there. Go in, guys. I was hoping they would go in. Oh, well. Okay. Wait a minute, that can't be right. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Didn't they go into Jocelyn? I gotta timestamp this. I thought they stopped the siege, went into Jocelyn, in which therefore I thought they peaced out, but they're now going back to war. I did not see any message saying that they peaced out or went to war. What time is this? 2:41. I thought for sure I saw them go into the city. I'm like 100% positive they went into the city. How can you do that at the war? You can't tell me that they peaced out and literally a half a day later they warred again. There's no way. So I want to be able to look back at this, and then I might have to go ahead and put a bug in. This is past the point in which it happened, but they might want the save file anyways. I better do this just in case. We're at 11:46, so we're only 54 days away from the end of the episode. No, we're not at 11:46. We are not. They always normally want your save file. So I guess I better do that just to be safe. We're at 11:57. So we're 43 days from being done. So I had to stop and look at this a second. That's still a Vlandian town. Now, I don't think they're going to get a full siege in here. They are going to end up getting attacked. Where's that army? They left. Are they running out of food? Because they're about to get their butt kicked. You got 1,000, 11, 12, 13, they got like 1,400 troops. You guys are history. Plain and simple. Look at this, all green. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because I'm going to sell this off pretty damn soon. We're going to go on a spending spree. Well, I should say a selling spree. Very soon. In which we are going to get rid of a ton of this stuff. You'll see it coming up here soon. We have sometime in the next, these guys, yeah, there they go. Is that it? 70, yep, they're losing. There they go. They're starving. So they came over here to siege. Went into the town for some reason, which I don't think they bought food. I don't know if it was just a bug. But then they decided to come up here and siege, knowing they didn't have enough food to siege. Now this time, they left before they ran out of food. However, they did not have enough food to get back into their own territory. And now, they're screwed. They're gone. Well, that guy left. The AI, they haven't made the AI smart, and this is what I've tried stressing to them. The AI should know a certain number, and I call it 10 days. That's in my head. I mentioned this in the last video. If they get to a town, oh, there's a perfect chance to sell. They just all went in there. If they get to a town and they do not have 10 days worth of food, they should stop and head back and grab more food. 5 days to siege, and if it's unsuccessful, 5 days to get back to their own territory. That's my estimation off the top of my head, in which I think that's what should happen. Now, of course, I can be wrong, totally wrong about it, but I think that's a fair number. Well, I'm set this up perfect. I set this up really good. Because now that I do that, what I can do is join a kingdom or make my own kingdom, make my parties into an army, and sit in a town and smith while I gain leadership. Now, of course, the 3 people that are making the armies won't be getting any of the smithing. There are some people that are just not worth it. So I've set it up actually pretty good. So I can smith and gain leadership at the same time. Double EXP to cap these others out. I've set myself up pretty damn good. And I am only 3 levels away from getting that last attribute point to get price of loyalty. So yeah, right now I am going on a little bit of a shopping spree because we're gonna be selling quick. We're almost. What are we at? Now I'm trying to remember what we're at. We're coming up to 1200. Once I get up towards about 280 or so is when I think I'm going to start going nuts selling. And that means selling everything down to light green. And then see how high I can actually get up before I'm right near the end. Now, of course, unfortunately, I cannot help you, dude. I'm sorry, which sucks because that's hardwood. So that is going to be what my plan is what I'm going to do. Right when we get that, right around that 280 mark, is when I'm going to go off selling. What I'd like to do is at that point, I would like to hit Empire territory because that's where you're going to make major sales. So you want to have enough product to sell them at a very high profit. Then come back through Asteri territory and head back up into Valandia, Britannia, and just go nuts selling. So that's what my current plan is right now. That's what I'm planning to do. I think it'll work really well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it to those guys in time, which sucks. You can see they're gonna end up getting wasted. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Even now, it's starting to pause. I'm not going to go up into Revolt or Ostican. I'm going to go ahead to. I want to get over into Britannia and get over into Empire territory as quick as possible. Why does it feel like I messed up and I was supposed to go south? I feel like I was supposed to go south through Empire territory. I have that feeling I just messed this up. I'm pretty damn sure right now I did. Which I can stop it right now because I can head south to Legata. I really think I messed up. Yeah, I know I did. Damn. I hate it when I do that. I think I need to go head south. I think I messed up. 23, I would have to sell for over 450. If I'm going to start buying hardwood at 23, then yeah, that's really going to jump that price up to 26. Then you would go 25 to 50. But I have that feeling that I did mess this up bad. That's good price, 21 on the fish. Wow. I got that. Oh man. That was pretty damn cool. I got that super cheap. I bought it for, I thought it was like 14. Yeah, 277. Sargot is not under siege. Let us go hit Legata. I want to go through Empire territory. You want to kind of mix these up because when you sell a bunch, it'll give time for the caravans to help distribute it. So I definitely want to go head through Empire because we haven't been through there. I thought we went north the first time and then... Oh, hello. Alright, well that was a good call. Oh, there they go building stuff again. Those fools. So hopefully this could be some 30,000-40,000 trade. I don't get them. There they go, they're sieging. And I don't see the Empire anywhere. But yeah, it's the usual suspects. As I always say, Britannia and Blandia battle with each other. One of them takes over. And then the Kuzites really hammer it hard. And the Assyri, they do jump in and take a lot. And I really do feel that it is the cavalry. Now, Mexico is making a change to cavalry. However, in the attempts to make a change, he did mention that there is a bug with it. So that's something that we're going to have to worry about as well. And hello, spice vendor, that got captured again. Let's send you back out and waste another big amount of money. There's our grain. $24K. you can make really good money if you just follow all the wars. You can just hit every place, and that's where I'm still not happy about this. You don't, you know, that's still sitting there. Is Amitatis at war, or are they getting sieged? Because if they're getting sieged, that's the first place I want to go. But you don't know. We bought grain for so cheap that we're going to be able to sell a ton of it. Because we can get it down to like about 8, I think, and still make a profit. Which is, in the long run, that's what we're going to do. We are going to be selling it really cheap. And they're not at war. Or sieging. Look, I mean, it just looks like there's more than 100 caravans in this game. It just looks that way. Which I can't come up with possible explanations for that. One being Mexico said each merchant has a caravan. Now that is conflicting. Does he mean each merchant slash artisan has one? Because every town is going to have an artisan as well. Is that what he meant by it? Or did he seriously just mean only merchants have them? That I actually did not get clarified with him. And if for some reason artisans are getting them as well, then their numbers might be off. If he doesn't think that, then you're talking about what, another 20, 30 caravans being out there? That's a huge difference. Now you're talking about 25% more caravans. Okay, that's cutting the profits down by 25%. Alright, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and that is head on over here, even though, look at the I mean, are you kidding me? You cannot honestly tell me that there is just 100 caravans in this game. There is no freaking way it's not more than 100. It's just not possible. Look at them all. I wish I could count them all. I'm sure there's a way to teleport around. I do not agree with that assessment of it being just 100. It is, of course, it's supposed to be for each merchant, and I think also artisan. But you can just see the absolute flock of them all over the place, everywhere you go. And they're not, I'm not following them all around. They go in their own directions. And I did make a test, even though I did not do the caravan video. And running high trade is a very important thing if you're going to run caravans. I did practically double my profits going from a 0 to a 200 trade skill companion. So it is a big deal. Even though you can see right now, I'm still. What is that? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm still only pulling 1400. But yeah, they completely screwed the pooch on this, on Caravan. I can't wait to make my video. Problem is trying to keep it short. All the information that I need to put out on the caravans, there's a lot of information that I have. And it's going to try to be condensing it down as what I like to do in information type videos. I try to keep them under 10 minutes. That's kind of my goal, is I want to try to condense the information and get it to you in a very quick and concise manner that you can understand. So that's going to be my challenge, is trying to convey all this information in a quick, timely fashion that actually makes sense. I think that is going to be the really difficult thing. You can see we're making really good profits. So that's why I kind of want to finish this up, because I want to work on that video. And that's going to be a video that's actually going to take me a little bit of time to do. It's not going to be a very quick thing to do. Damn it. They're starving. I don't think I'll get too much of a price change now. They have no food. Oh, very little. Another big sale. We're just getting rid of all kinds of stuff again. Going 4K. Coming through Empire territory, it pays off. And that's why I wanted to stop. They're still losing troops. Now they're starting to go back up. Are you coming up this way? Are you coming here to get food? Come here to get food. Come on. Damn it. They're heading, I think, to Onira. I don't know why they wouldn't stop off here. Even though, once again, they don't have a lot of food here. You can see how we're starting to get more red now. Now they're 11K. Because what we did is we held on to all that, all the goods. And I think now though the inflation is kicking in a little bit. But what's really happening is you know, these towns are just, they're running low on food because of wars, and it just gives you the perfect. Where are you guys? Where are you seriously going? I have no clue where this army is going. I'm like, okay, are you guys going up there? Yeah, it's like, where are they going? Okay, maybe you're gonna go back down. That's some smart AI work there, boy. You're just gonna wander all over and starve. I think every town but one we made over 10K. Alright, you guys going down there? Come on. Yeah, I don't know where they're going. Now I'm just lost at what they're doing. They're kind of just being stupid. Oh, they got some stuff here. A little bit at the top end that I don't really want to buy. 74 is a bit high. I think we'll hold off on that. $278. We hit the mark we wanted to. That was the mark I talked about, but I think that's just because of coming through Empire territory. Down to a 1.23. Oh man, this ought to be fun. Because now if we go back up through Titania and Valandia and Sturgia, it's where you're going to buy a lot, not sell. And we pretty much kicked our speed back up. We're up to a 4.8. I mean, it only takes one more decent sale, and all of a sudden you're already back up to a 5 speed. It could get me close to 4.9. That's close. Oh, that's cheap. For Velvet, oh yeah. Almost 2.4 million. Now I'm gonna have to start watching the days. Yeah, Assyria took this back. The big thing is when the Assyri and the Kuzite go to war with each other. So we achieved our nearly 4.9 speed, which is what I consider our top end, where we're still carrying enough that we can sell. 1700, we're good. Oh yeah, definitely the oil. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot longer. It's going to be a nice quick episode. That's going to be the decision for me. Is do I do this again? I'm probably going to have to run until, well, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I should try to force myself to do another one. Just so I can get ahead. Because that could also help me to get the information to him, which I don't think we stand a chance on getting anything changed in this patch. Coming up in 1.5.7, I don't think we're going to be able to get it changed. But, I mean, you can always dream. That's basically all it is just dreaming that they would do something. And I think once we get through Assyria territory, I think I'll check and see how close to 1200 we are. Since that is when we are stuffing. And we are right at 1100, we were 13 points behind. And at 1200, I was 292. And you can see what we're at, and we're getting close to 1200. 278. That's 14 points behind. And at a rate of 3 an hour, that's 4 hours. Or an entire episode, which is like 150 days. That's pushing you up over 1500, which I think it'll go longer. I'm still pretty much on par with my guess of it taking 1700 days. Right now, I am going to stick to that point. I'm going to stand by 1700. I pretty much called it from the beginning. And there's no use wavering from it now. I'm just going to go with that. We don't want 10. We'll take 9. So it'll be interesting to see how close to 1700 we get. I estimated to Mexico 1700 to 2000 days. So 1700 was at the very minimum. I still think that's a conservative number. However, we are dealing with a different economy. So the economy might be better off to actually suit that and give us a little bit more profit. Whew, that's a big number. Damn, I sold too many. There we go. That's better. More of my linen I know I'm going to sell for 90 to 100 easily. I'll check once we get up to Quies, see what date we're at. I know we got to be getting it within about 30 days of being done. Because we were at 70 something, and that was a while ago. Poor villagers can't even get back to their town. Villagers being attacked. Villagers being attacked. All over the place. I feel like I want to put a stop in here. Oh yeah, I need more grain. Because we're going to get rid of a lot of grain. I wanted to watch this guy. I have a feeling he's going to do it. No, I don't think he is. I went the wrong way. As far as the rogue is concerned, I can go mercenary, but I really wanted to become a mercenary to go after caravans. That's what I really wanted to do. Alright. 9, yeah. Not much for 9. They just... Not paying any more than 6 for it. So now I'll be able to get more in Valandia. Craven, the town that seems to have everything cheap. We'll check the date now, once we're here. Alright, let's see where we're at. Maybe once I get something to eat and take a break, I'll be more inclined to actually do it. As you can see how long it's taking, it needs another reload of the game. How close to 1200? days, which is somewhere up into probably Craven. Heading into Britannian territory is when we're going to be done. Definitely 280 would be considered, I think, the home stretch when you only have 20 more to go. I mean, that's almost hitting like 18, 19. I mean, it's just such a low number. I just really want to get to something fun. I think I mentioned that to somebody on the channel. I just want to get done with this so I can fight. I'm just itching to do something else. And that is one great thing about me is there are a bunch of things that I can do to keep my attention going. I don't just have to do one thing, so I can swap back and forth between things. So I could trade, and then, you got the general, the rogue, the smith. There's so many different things that I can do that are fun that it can actually keep me from getting bored. So I think that's one advantage that I have over a lot of people where I'm not just stuck into build up a guy, take over the world, call it done, and that's all you want to do. Well, obviously, you're going to get bored. I mean, look, I'm getting bored with this. After 40 to 60 hours of doing this, I get bored. And that's also one of the reasons why I like to have multiple series going, because it gives me an opportunity to have a different change of pace. You're not doing the same thing every single day, because the rogue build is completely different from the general. And then I do plan on doing the live stream, which is going to be a change of pace as well. So not only do I do it to make sure that there's enough content that some people may not like one thing, however, they might like another, so it keeps content available for everybody, but it also makes sure that I don't actually become bored with it. I mean, as a content creator, that is one thing you do not want to do, is become bored with what you're doing. When you do that, then you start not caring. And then when you don't care, you're not putting the amount of effort and work into it that you need to keep your audience, entertained. So that's another reason why I like to do multiple series. However, besides the trader, I haven't put out anything in coming up on a week. I mean, to me, that's crazy. I've been at this for 5 months, and I've been putting up content every day. And to go an entire week without realistically anything, it just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like I should be putting something out. Damn it. Get that salt back. So I'm really eager to do something else. And we're going to take your wool this time. I mean, to me, the thing that I wanted to do more than anything was the general. I really want to test those intelligence-based skills. That was going to be me joining as a vassal or mercenary and holding back everybody, keeping everybody in the game for potentially 40 years and seeing how powerful those perks were. Now, of course, it's also going to give me the opportunity to show Tail World how slow it is to gain these skills. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see exactly how powerful that they were, just in case somebody wanted to create that type of build. I'm always trying to think of new ideas and new things. One of the main problems that I have is I want a smith. And a lot of that comes down to is I just want my pole arm. Nothing feels right to me in the game anymore without that pole arm. That reach that it has in campaign maps. I try using this heavy executioner's axe and it feels terrible. I don't like it one bit. I mean, you could be standing right next to a guy, you go down to swing at him, and it's like you miss him. It's just weird. Yeah, we're buying stuff again. We're in that area where we go nuts buying. We don't need grapes. Whenever you get these two, you're always going to do it. Now we're going to go to the Praven, where we're going to end up buying 20 to 40,000 worth of stuff. But we're preparing for that home stretch. I've got to think at what point I'm going to go ahead and get rid of everything. It's somewhere going to be around the 290 area is now what I'm thinking, not 295, and which I'm going to go nuts selling. We're going to look at 11 old workhorses. I have some big time money sitting there. Okay. The only thing you have worth selling is probably going to be the wool. That is absolutely outrageous in cost. Alright. Grain. Butter. Oil. Fish. Beer. Linen. There you go, 20,000. Are we down to a 4.0? I think we're down to 4.0. Yeah, we're actually down to a 4. I did go pretty nuts though on buying stuff, but it's okay. I want to wait a second. He's coming in with hardwood. No. I mean, there you go. We made 9 grand. It's a couple decent prices. Nothing spectacular. Okay, let's see where we're at. We're close to day 1200. Like I said, we probably may get through a little bit of Botanian territory. We're probably going to be within 10 days. We're in the 1190 range, I'm thinking. But we are getting there. Almost 280. 1194. I think, no, actually this time I do not want to go up into Valandia. Valandia is when you want to buy fish, cheese, butter, meat, maybe some hardwood. Nah, I don't want to go up into Valandia. They can have some good non-consumable sales, like tools and velvet. That they can do. However, we're not interested in that right now. I want to go to the northern part of Empire territory. Oh, wow. And the Executioner's Axe is great for sieges. Especially having the cut through. It's amazing for sieges. Because well, an axe cut through, but I don't think a sword does. So I might look at seeing about possibly making an axe, but that would involve me having to have a second skill. I don't know if I can do that. I do like having them though. So I think I'm gonna do that. You guys aren't really gonna freaking notice anything, but I think after this, I'm probably gonna get dinner, and then I'm gonna end up recording the next episode. I really do want to get this done, so I can move on to another project. Is my goal. I definitely want to do something else. So the sooner I get this done, the quicker I can move on. So I think I will definitely do that after this episode. And that'll take us up to day 1350, which I think we should be pushing 285 to 287 maybe. I think we'll only about, after that episode, we'll only need maybe 2 more episodes. Which we're going to hit day 12, 1350. That's going to put us at about 1650, which is right near what I said it was going to be, 1700. But this is ridiculous. I mean, I just, tail world. Seriously. Some things are fun and some things aren't. Some people might enjoy it. Could I sit around for 40 hours killing looters? Non-stop? Probably. I probably could do that. Can you sit around for 40 hours straight trading? I've done it. But do I want to do it? Hell no. I don't know, but that's something that's very therapeutic for me. I don't know why. I think it's VMP that it's his fault I'm this way. I was watching his videos, and the way that he can headshot 60, 70, 80 meters really good, it just intrigued me so much. And I was like, man, I want to be able to do that. And I think I've come a long way. I'm definitely not there yet. Once you start hitting that 80 meter mark, that's when I start running into problems of not being able to hit. But I think I'm definitely getting there where my aim is not too bad. I think I do a decent job, especially in the 40 to 50 meter range. I think I'm pretty damn good, but I'm always looking to improve that. I mean, I just love going into you know, going into those castles and just headshotting those guys on the walls. To me, it's just so much damn fun. Alright, we're going to go over to Sanon, pick up the hardwood, and I think we'll call it quits there. Since we should be right about there. We might gain one more point. Of course, I haven't looked. Oh, there was an Andrew, and that was bad. Yeah, they're down to 12. That's what happens when they don't go to war. All three of those villages sending over to Sanon, which I still don't feel it's right. I understand why they do it, but you take a city like this, or village, I think this village should go to the nearest Battanian city. Now the problem is if it's halfway across the map, that can cause a freaking problem. But as long as they're not at war, it's going to go to the closest city. They go to the closest city they aren't at war at. So they're going to come back to Sanon. If they're at war with Valandia, then they're going to end up going to Epicrodia. If they're at war with Epicrodia, then probably where else would you go? Legata, maybe. I'm assuming Legata. So that's how that works. I put it in a long time ago. I don't think that should be that way. I know the travel would be ridiculous. But that's just my opinion. It's my village in my kingdom. I should reap the benefits of that. I mean, do those villagers get paid and that's how they pay their taxes? I mean, if that's it, then I could understand it a little bit more. I wouldn't be so down on it. If that's how it works, then yeah, I can understand that. That's all right. I mean, they're paying taxes on it. And as the leader, I'm taxing the entire kingdom. So I'm gaining money off of that. So, but I don't know how it exactly works. I couldn't tell you. It's one of those questions I'd have to ask, but I don't know who to ask considering, well, I bet you a modder would know because they've already looked at the code. I'm just excited about the fact that Noble's coming back. Finally getting, and all the high tier armor too. He actually showed us, Mexico showed a screenshot of an over 100k item that had spawned in a city. So you're damn right when I'm going to be making bow woodworking shops and stuff. $11.99, I guess we're going to call that good right there. I'm not going to go traveling over to Epicrodia, which is going to take a day and a half just to get there. How close did we get? We should be close to the next one. No, we're not. So we hit 278. We only gained 4 points, and as you can see, we did make a lot of money. When I went through Empire, every one was 10, 20,000. So in the last one, I was 280, or no, 1,200 days, 292. That puts us 14 back. Which is not bad, actually. We were 13 back in 1,100 days, and now we're only 14 back. But I think, of course, that did have to do. We gained 5 points. Or we gained 4 points this one. We gained 5 points the last one. But we're 278, almost 278 and a half, which I think is really good. We got through this in under 4 hours. Yesterday was over 5 hours. We got through 150 days in just 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's exceptional. and I am not going to waste anybody else's time. I'm going to get something to eat, and I'm going to start the next one. If it's only going to take 3.5 hours, I'm cool with that. So I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, and thanks for watching.